So we're now ready to reconcile the bank, and this is where everything gets matched up and everything then gets put in its place, and all made nice and tidy, and everything balances and adds up. And completing the bank reconciliation also means that your accounts are all fully up to date, assuming of course you've raised all your invoices and added all your bills in. But this is the last part of making sure everything is all up to date. So it will tell you how many items you need to reconcile, and when it connects to the bank, it just brings in transactions in and out of your bank. That's all it does. So we're going to click into here, go to that, and we are going to start looking at these and start matching them up. So it's always easy to start with anything that's already turned green. On the left hand side, you've got the items that are coming in from the bank feed, and on the right hand side you are going to match up to what's in Xero, or if there's not something already in Xero to match it to, you're going to create it. So in theory we are playing a giant game of Snap here. Now we're going to start off with the ones in green, because the ones in green means Xero's already found matches, so they're the easy ones to hopefully clear and ensure that they're all okay. So nothing will ever auto reconcile, because you want to 100% make sure that it's the right transaction. But we've got two here. So we've got money coming in from Ridgeway University, and they've put the reference of invoice 35 in. Now what Xero's done is it's matched up the amount and it's matched up the name, and it's thinking this could be it, and it's presented it. I can see here invoice 35 matches that invoice 35. I'm happy. That is the payment against that invoice. So by clicking here, what that's going to do is it's going to mark the invoice as paid, and it gets rid of the line because the line has been reconciled and matched up. On this one, we've already told Xero that this invoice was paid on the 8th of April. So if you look at it there, 8th of April, Truxton, paid on the 8th, and that's the amount. So again, I'm happy that's correct. So I'm going to click OK, and they're going to go. And I'll do this and carry on through until all the green ones are done. And looks to me, oh, we've got another one here. So Wilson Online Periodicals. Reference matches. So again, I'm happy that that's correct. One more page I'm going to go through. Oh, we've got another one here. That's money received. It's a credit. Now they don't quite match up. So I want to look a little more detail and have a look. So I'm going to click into find a match. That's where it's got here the details. So I'm just going to have a look here. So it says it's a received money, but it's unreconciled. We've had this money come in. And it's a discount, so it's a refund. So I'm quite happy after looking at it that that is correct. But I'm just going to have a look, make sure there's nothing else for the same company. There isn't. It is literally just this one. So I'm happy that's correct, and I'm going to match it up. Right, there's no other greens. So we've cleared all the greens, so now we're going to go back to the beginning. So I know, because I've already looked ahead, that this smart agency one, we've actually paid 2 invoices here. So you can see here you've got 2 numbers, and obviously we've made the payment, so we know that it's paid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find those 2 invoices now to match it up to. So I'm going to go to match, and I'm just going to pop in here smart, and then it'll just bring up all the smart agency invoices. And you can see here 195 and 210, 195, 210. So if we click them both, that adds up to the same amount of money. It all turns green and I'm happy to go. So if you've paid multiple invoices at once, that's how to reconcile them. And the same if somebody's paid you multiple invoices at once, then let's see if we've got one of those. Let's have a look. Nope. Let's have a look and see if this is one. No, it's not. Okay, cancel that off. No, so we haven't got one that's received as multiple, but if we did, it'd be the same principle. You'd go in, match up, look for all the customers and add them together. What I can see here is we've got two here that are part payments. So we've got one here that's a part payment and one that's a deposit. So I'm going to go and match these up. So City Limousines. City. So it's 0017, says 0017, which is actually 250. They've paid £100. So they've made a part payment. So I'm going to click in here and I'm going to split it. So I'm going to allocate the £100 as part payment, leaving the balance. So you can see it's split it into two. So we'll reconcile that bit off, but it will still show that this part is still outstanding when we look in the waiting payment section. And the same here, looks like they've paid a deposit. So if we come into here. Okay, so we haven't actually invoiced them for this. So what we're going to do is, because we haven't invoiced them yet, but they've made this payment, it's a payment on account. So we're going to come down here and we're going to add it as a new receive money transaction. And we're going to pop it here as a prepayment. You can either do it as a prepayment and put it to the actual account, or you can do it as an overpayment, which will then just sit on the account. And when you raise an invoice, just like when we did the credit note, you can then allocate the payment to the invoice in future. So let's have a look at how that would work. So we've got this and it's gone on. So we're going to save that and click OK. And then we're going to go into invoice. I'm just going to raise an invoice actually. So, and what we're going to do, so we don't need to worry about that. And we can see here it's got credit available. So we're going to pop in credit deposit. And because they've done it, paid it as a deposit, which is inclusive of that, I'm just going to turn up here to be inclusive. So what it will do is it will say that it's 2,000 inclusive of that, and it will just split the VAT out for me. So I don't need to stress about trying to calculate it or work it back. Add in all my bits and bobs. And I'm happy with that. And I'm going to, don't need to email it because they've already paid us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to approve it. And it's now saying it's got a credit. Do I want to apply it? Yes, I do. We come from here, the overpayment, and we are going to apply that. And what you can see here is it's been applied and therefore there's nothing due. So what I would do is, just so that, I can't even say that, Jacaranda Maple Systems. This is what you get when you work with a Oz company. That's clearly an Australian company. What I would do here is I would go back to the invoice. Mark, oh, it's downloaded it. Sorry, wrong bit. Come to here and email it. Sorry. And I would send an email, pop in their email address, and I'd just say, here's the invoice. And I would actually change the wording of this. There isn't one to say it's been paid. So I would just change the wording on here. Is £2,000 as the invoice for your payment on whatever date. Well, I can't remember what the date was now. So, and then thank you for your payment. And I would delete the rest of it because you don't want them to pay it. They've already paid it. And I would send that, obviously not because there's no email. And I would just send that out of courtesy, so they've got the VAT receipt their side, or VAT invoice, so they can put that through their books accordingly for their VAT return, and I've got it on my side. So that's how I would deal with something like that. Ideally, you would have raised the invoice first, but it's not always possible. Now, a lot of these you will know if you've got invoices for, or if you've got receipts for. For example, this gives me nothing, so I have absolutely no idea what that's for. I'm looking on here and there's still no more details, but you would know what you've made a payment for. I'd like to think anyway. So I would come into here and look and see if anything kind of relates. Now, I know there's nothing of that value because otherwise Xero would have tried to match it up. So I'm just going to look through and see if anything to do with those numbers adds up. But nothing does. Now, it could be that it's paying multiple invoices, so we'd need to find out who we made the payment to and set up the invoices accordingly. But that's something where you should know who is, and you should be able to allocate it accordingly. So I'm going to leave that one for now because I don't know what it's for. What you could do as well is, if there's multiple people, is they could actually put in a discuss column and say, I always say put your initials so that whoever's looking at it knows who put that note, and just say, not sure what or who this is for, please check the bank address. And then that means when somebody else comes on, they can look at it and know why it's not been reconciled, and if that note is for you. So maybe if it's one of your team and they've sent that note to you, or if you're the team member and you're sending it to your boss, then you can write that. They'll know why you've not reconciled it. If you're asking your boss, your manager, what you want to call them, for help on this one, they may be able to tell you what it's for. They may be able to speak to the bank and sort it out. Could be they've got the receipt and they've just not uploaded it to Xero, or given it to you to upload to Xero. So it could be a number of eventualities, but leaving that note on there means you can have that discussion, and it's nice and easy for others to see. So that's the discuss. This one here looks like bank fees, and what Xero's done is it's picked up that last time this came through, you asked me to send it to here. So it's suggesting what it can be. And if you're happy that it's the same thing again, you can use the create. Now, normally we would like to see receipts for everything, but things like bank fees, it's not really necessary. There's no VAT on it, so it's not the end of the world if we don't have the receipt for it. So if you're happy that's correct, then it's okay to use the create and mark it. If you have got the receipt and you're going to upload it later, don't create, wait until you've uploaded the receipt, upload the receipt, and then you'll be able to match it. Same with this one. It looks like we should have a receipt for this, so I would put in here awaiting receipt, and either upload the receipt and then match it up, or if you're the person doing it for your manager, then that's your note to the manager to upload the receipt. Rather than clicking create, creating the expense, and then potentially the receipt being uploaded down the line, and then you're going to be duplicated. So yeah, I'm happy that's okay. So I'm going to click OK. And then what you can see here, this one's got a rule set up. So it says every time 7-Eleven crops up, and there's probably some other bits set in there as well, it's saying to use this rule. Now I'm happy, it's matching up, and I'm going to click yes. What I'm going to do is, I've noticed there's a few of these central city parking, so I'm going to set up a rule so that every time we get central city parking, it's set up as a rule. Now, I would only set things up with rules if they're like the bank fees or something where you're not going to get a receipt and therefore you're not going to be claiming the VAT back. Because anything where you're definitely claiming the VAT back, you're going to need the receipt uploaded so you've got a record of it. So I know that this car park is not VATable. There's no VAT on it. So I'm happy that I'm going to set up a rule. So I'm going to do this and create bank rule. And then you can put any conditions match or all conditions match. So you can add various different conditions, description, amount, reference, analysis code, or any text field. And you can put in however you want it. I would say make it easy, because if you make it too specific, it may not pick it up. Some of them where there's like the name and then a load of numbers for reference, you can do it starts with, and you can do it starts with Central City, for example, or it contains, I'm not sure why it would be blank, but there you go, or it equals if you know it's always going to be the same amount. You then select contact, so Central City, we haven't got one, so we're going to add it. And then we're going to allocate item lines. So if they're automatically fixed amount every month, so for example, if you know it's going to be the same amount every month, like bank fees, it is £6 a month, then you can put in here the line, the amount of £6 a month. If it's something that's going to change, then you can allocate a ratio. So for something like parking, I would, or bank fees where it fluctuates because it's based on the transaction volume, I'd put it in this one. So we can put it to travel, no VAT because we've not got a receipt, and I want 100% of it to go to there. It could be, if you need to split it between departments, you put parking as 50-50 and you put marketing and HR 50%, and it's not liking me because I didn't select it. But you always need to make sure that that adds up to 100%. And then leave that the same and just make sure the rule is something. And then if you click save, you now find that every time we've got Central City Parking, that rule has come up. So I'm happy. We're just going to click yes and yes. And yes again there. So yeah, I am happy with that. Now it could be that you come on and you've been to Cooper Street Bakery and you've not got the receipt and you're not able to get a copy, you've lost the receipt. So therefore you would at that point create the transaction. So you'd come in and you'd put Cooper Street Bakery and you put what it's for. It looks like it's some kind of food as part of travel. So subsistence. Not got the receipt, so you're going to have to put it as no VAT, and then you can click OK. Now, say down the line, you did actually find that you have got that receipt. You found it. You can come back into account transactions. You can find it and remove and do. And what that does is it undoes what you've done. and pops it back in here to reconcile. So that's how you can correct any errors. If you need to make a change to a rule, you can come up to here and it's got bank rules. Or even delete them. You can come into here and click edit, and then you can make the changes you need to. So it could be actually you just want it all 100%. Let's go there. What it will do is going forward, every time that comes up again, it will change it to the new changes. You can also reconcile, create rules in here as well. And you can also come back here to reconcile. And you can have spend money rules and receive money rules as well. Now, if you find that something is paid, but it's not paid quite right, so for example, they've overpaid, so you can come in here, click that one. Oh, no, actually, they have literally just paid a penny less. So let's use this one. They're overpaid by a penny. So it's saying it's out by a penny. You can just come in and use this adjustments, minor adjustment, and then just put 0.01. You could, if it's a little bit more, or a bank fee, or there's something else in there, because sometimes, like when you've got abroad payments come in, overseas payments, it may take out a bank fee. So you could put in bank fee. Let's get rid of that. And you can just say constant security and put bank fee for overseas. Overseas payment account bank fees, no VAT, and you can just put in there the amount, and then you can reconcile it because it all then matches up. Let's have a look, see if there's any more of these that we can do. Oops, this one doesn't want to work. So we haven't got ACL. Nope, so anything start with A. Let's do that. Right, and those ones will be playing earlier. Cool. So I'm happy that I've now matched as much as I can out of this. And I will go through and match up any more that I can, but if there's no more to match up, that one, there's no invoice, so I want an invoice raised first, but I don't raise all the invoices accordingly. Ideally, you want to have receipts for everything rather than just click create, but where it's not possible, then you can, like for example, the receipts lost, then just use the create. So we've gone through on this video the match, create, discuss, find a match and the rules, and then we'll go through transfer in a separate video.